Hey YouTube!
Oh, hee-ho, hee-ho, chick in a big ball, like chickens, like to hatch some eggs, to eat 'em up, boogaloo, chicka-bum, chum, I love some Chucky.
All right. This is going to be the second part to A Man Behind a Camera and a Puppet. And the reason why I did this is because I want to show you some of the other puppets and some of the characters that I did behind the puppets, and just go a little of the backstory for each puppet. So I guess I will start with Sarah Uppet. Now, Sarah Uppet, once I bought Timmy Uppet on eBay for I don't know, it's been a while. Anyway, once I bought Timmy Uppet, the creator, the puppet maker, actually contacted me and said, "Hey, I've got a twin. It's like Timmy's or the boy puppet's sister." So I was like, okay, well. So anyway, I ended up buying it. So this is the second puppet that I bought, and it is the sister to Timmy, and I've named her Sarah Uppet. And Sarah is basically built the same way as Timmy. She almost looks exactly like him. These shirts, if you notice, Timmy has one that says Whale Adventure. Well, I went to Dollar General and they had these for like a couple of bucks, and they looked almost the same, except this one said Racing and the other one has Whale Adventure on it. So that way I kept them, like brother and sister. So anyway, this is Sarah Uppet, and she has a blonde wig. She has a foam head. She has Antron fleece. And I really like Sarah. I don't use her too much because I can't sound like a girl. I have to do something like, Hi, my name is Sarah, and my favorite color is pink. Of course, my voice doesn't sound like a girl or a child, so once again I had to speed it up just like I did Timmy Uppet. So this is what it sounds like sped up, and here we go.
Hi, my name is Sarah Uppet, and my favorite color is pink. And I really like Les Annis, and he's done some kids' books, and I'm in some of the kids' book. I have a pink race car. You should look at them. They're down there in the description area. But anyway, bye.
So anyway, that's Sarah Uppet. That's her backstory. The same person who made Timmy made Sarah. And I like her. She has button eyes. They're like little plastic eyes that you can get where you make stuffed animals or doll making shops. I see some eyes like this at Michael's, but here, let me give you a close-up of the eyes. I don't know if you can see them, but they're what I call button eyes, and they're just little plastic eyes that are made for like stuffed animals or doll making. So anyway, that's Sarah Uppet. And now I'm going to move over to Trouble. Okay, he basically is the first puppet I ever made. He's the first puppet. If you can see here, he's got foam teeth. He's got the foam tongue with the same thin foam that I showed you in the other videos. Now, he's a little different because I created his wig from thick yarn. And I just stitched a bunch of real thick yarn for his hair. I kind of wanted it to look like not necessarily dreadlocks, but like a curly long hair for him. And a lot of times when you're creating characters, Sarah was easy because it was Timmy's sister. She's got a female voice, and she just basically does the same thing as Timmy, but in a different high-pitched voice. So her character is easy. Now Trouble, I had no idea what I was going to name him. I had no idea what he was going to be about. And a lot of times, after you make a puppet, the actual character will come through, after you make it, because, you don't know what it's going to look like until it's finished. And I just wanted him he had to have a different voice. And of course, I found a shirt at the Goodwill, and the shirt said Trouble on it. So guess what? His name became Trouble. And I've had some comments about, oh, he's in trouble. That's not good for kids. However, Trouble wants to do the right thing. So he needs his friends like Timmy and Mercedes and Sarah to help him do what's right. So it's not that Trouble gets in trouble, but he needs a little help to do the right thing. So anyway, so that's how he came about, and so I had to design a way his voice would be, and so I made his voice real slow, only so it would sound different. I mean, I can only do but so many voices, so I slowed his voice down, and he basically just says, yeah, I am having a lot of fun, and yes, so he doesn't really say too much. He does say to the point and stuff like that, but this is what it sounds like when I slow the video down. He's like,
I am having a lot of fun. I am very excited, and I have a big friend named Les. And I do like to have fun, and
So anyway, that's Trouble puppet. And he's real heavy. Like I said, he was my first puppet. He has a foam head using the pattern that's linked down in the description area. He's got a foam body, foam arms, and like I said, he is super, super heavy. I don't like to use him for long shots because my arm gets tired, and he's huge. Look how big this puppet is. I mean, his head is almost as big as mine. So anyway, that's Trouble. And he is basically the mascot of vidsforkids.tv. So that's Trouble the puppet. And so that being said, if you saw the last video that I did, you will notice that I showed you a little puppet that I built, and I'll go into him on another day. But I bought his fleece from Walmart, and it was like, I don't know, it was like, gosh, I think the fleece was like $2-3 a yard. So anyway, I bought a few yards of it since it wasn't that expensive. And it wasn't to build the puppy, it was actually to build Mercedes. And this is Mercedes. Now, I tried out a different pattern for Mercedes. You can see his mouth is open. It's not like these puppets where the foam head is the jaw and the head together. This actually has the mouth open, and when you put your hand in the puppet, the spring is basically the foam bending. So it's easy to open the mouth. You see here how he is. See, normally it's like this, but once you put your thumb in there, he comes out like that. Now, if you look closely, you can see he's got ping pong balls for eyes. And once again, he's got the felt stick-on pads. So that's Mercedes. Now, I needed a different voice for Mercedes. And a lot of times when I speak a little slow. So I do speed him up, but it's like 10%. It's not very noticeable. And I wanted him to have fun. I want him to be different. And I named him Mercedes because at the beginning, I didn't know if it was going to be a female or a male. But as I recorded the character of Mercedes, he actually, his character kind of evolved, and he had a little, an accent, and this is basically what Mercedes says. Now I'm going to do it once in my voice, and then I'm going to speed it up so you can hear what the actual voice is. But he is like this. He's like, "Oh, yeah. Ha, you better believe that. And whatnot. Yeah. Ha." All right, so that is his voice with me doing it naturally. And then, now this is what it's going to sound like when I speed it up just a hair.
Oh, yeah. My name is Mercedes. My favorite color is blue. I like blue. You better believe that and whatnot. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, when you're doing puppets, you want to, a lot of times I don't know what to do with the hands, but if you do like these little nonchalant or just subtle things like scratching their face or pointing or waving, sometimes that adds to the video. So anyway, that's Mercedes. He does have a felt mouth, ping pong ball eyes. He has a wig, but he's got the thin foam tongue with a magic marker through it. And I put black felt for his tonsils. You can see that in his mouth there. So, and he was the same cheap felt that I got for the puppy. Well, not for the puppy, but for him. And then I used that same felt for the puppy dog because I had so much of it. So anyway, that is Mercedes. And he is by far one of the favorite puppets on my television series. People love Mercedes. They just love him. For some reason, I get a lot of comments about Mercedes, about how they think it's so funny how he comes on the screen and says, "Oh, yeah." And so being that he's the fan favorite or a fan favorite, he's one of my favorites as well. I tried to evolve his character a little bit and say more things, and whatnot. and I did a little different on his hands. I did not put wire in there. I didn't think he would need to grip, or let's see, actually I only put wire in one hand. He has wire in here so he can point, or you can see, you can bend his fingers. But usually I just kind of put their fingers in a more natural position. And so it looks kind of like that. But yeah, that's Mercedes. And he's one of the fan favorites. Now, let me get back into what I do and how the channel and TV series evolved. It started as just some animation. And this is when YouTube first started out. This was like 11 or 12 years ago. And YouTube was just starting out. And I did some quick animation things, just playing around shapes that build a truck, a van, monster truck, just shapes that build a vehicle of some sort. Well, they did really well. I started getting millions of views on them. So I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. Now, this is when I had a full-time job and I was just playing on the weekends. So I did a few more of these little shape videos and did some counting and numbers and stuff like that. And at the time, I didn't want to be in front of the camera. Well, I still don't like being in front of the camera, but I am for this series. And so I said, you know what? I need characters, and I didn't want to do animated characters. I wanted something that I could point, shoot, and have action with. And so I decided to go for puppets. Once again, I did puppets because I didn't want to be in front of the camera. I didn't think I didn't think it'd be good for children, for me, I'm 6'5", I weigh about 250 pounds, big burly guy in front of the camera for kids. So I was like, that's not going to work. So that's why I started looking at puppets. And like I said, I got Timmy off eBay. And so, it went from there, and it exploded. So I've got this channel called vidsforkids.tv, and it is a YouTube channel. I've 650,000 subscribers. It's probably got 700 million views, almost 1 billion views over time. Now, lately it's changed. YouTube is changing their kids' content. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but they deleted thousands and thousands of my subscribers. I don't know if they were spam subscribers or whatever, but they deleted a lot. So if you go there and look at the channel, you're going to say, oh, he lied. He said they had more. Well, the total amount of subscribers is what I over time made, and then now, of course, they've deleted some. I don't know why. It doesn't really matter because I know the content is popular. Just by looking at how many views I have, you can tell that the content is popular. But anyway, so that channel evolved. I've been doing it for years. I just did a video called Shape Wheels, and they're in a truck factory, and they're using shapes as wheels and trying to see how they roll. Can you imagine a rectangle wheel trying to roll? And Mercedes, he has the rectangle wheel. Rectangular. Can't even say it 5 times fast. But anyway, so that evolved. So then I started getting people wanting me to promote their stuff, and I didn't really want to promote anything other than my own. So I did t-shirts, I've done books, kids books, I've done stickers and streaming television channels. So this, from that one puppet, has evolved into this huge thing. I did another successful channel that I should be getting a new silver play button on called Kids Trucks. If you go to vidsforkids.tv, you will see a link over for Kids Trucks. Check it out. Vids for Kids is educational, where Kids Trucks is just fun little animated cartoons, something different. And like I said, it's been highly successful as well. Now, the books that I did, I'll put a link down there, and you can look for yourself at the books that I've done, and hopefully you'll like them. Maybe you would like to pick one up and just see how it went from this to a book. It may help you out, may inspire you to do your own. So I guess that is pretty much it that I wanted to talk about today. I do plan to, I'm waiting on some cables. I'm going to do some animation and tricks and special effects and stuff, but the cables allow me to record the computer screen so I can show you exactly how I do this animation or special effects, but I'm waiting on the cable, so I wasn't able to do the animation today. I was hoping to, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make a small cartoon from start to finish on Adobe Photoshop and Premiere, and I'll go into a little bit of Adobe Illustrator and After Effects. I don't use those that much, only because I've been able to really excel at the Photoshop and Premiere, so I kind of stick to what I know. And like I said, I've been doing Photoshop since 1999, so I already have a lot of experience on Photoshop. And then when Adobe came out with the what is it called? Creative Suite, where it allows you to use a bunch together, like the Photoshop and Premiere together. I'll explain a little bit how they work together, and I really like Premiere and Photoshop and how they work together. But I'll go into that on another video, and I'm also planning to do a puppet, foam puppet like him, smaller than him. He's not going to be that big. But from from the beginning to the end, from the actual puppet pattern head, which is, there's a download for the free puppet pattern head. It's just a round head. It's very simple. It's very basic. And I'll go from the pattern to building the head, doing the mouthpiece, the mouth plate, what I use. And I know a lot of people do a lot of different things when they build their puppets. So, I mean, there's many ways to build puppets, but this is the way that I've done it over the years. This is how that I'm trying to show you how I did it and worked good, and what worked good for me. What works good for me might not be what works good for other people, but it'll give you a place to start. And if you get into building puppets, you may find techniques that you like better than what I do. So, I mean, it's totally open. Like I said, it's just the way I do it. And you'll find it fulfilling because, like I said, you know, this right here, it came from an idea to a physical thing. To me, that is great. That is so awesome to me that I can take something from my mind and make something that you can hold and touch and that people enjoy. I think the key factor there is I'm making something that people laugh or they enjoy. To me, that is what it's all about. Something that I can create from nothing that people enjoy. And that's what it is for me, and I really enjoy what I do. I hope you guys like what I'm doing, and I hope that you will, if you like this video, please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. I plan to do a whole lot more on here. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell, do all the jumps and hoops that YouTube makes you go through to be able to be notified of new videos. And I hope that you'll learn something and have fun, you know? And Grandpa's back there, he said something.
Come on and let's get something to eat.
What, Grandpa?
I sure am hungry.
Oh, you're hungry?
Let's go get us some apple pie. They say that apple pie is good for ye.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go get something to eat. I'm for it. I'm hungry too.
I tell you what.
All right, let's do it. All right, guys, we'll see you next time here on TimmyTube Network. And have a good weekend. All right, see you later.
Beef chutney. Beef chutney. Beef chutney. Beef chutney. Beef chutney. I like a big fat beef chutney.